Welcome to Suburban Death Metal Dad Bonus Tracks episode 122, the crap music I listened to before I discovered metal.
Yeah, put your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. Let me hear you say, oh, 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 oh.
So I just kind of wanted to talk about some of the music I listened to when I was a young kid. I started really listening to music around the age of 7, when I started actually purchasing it. And I just kind of wanted to talk about some of the early music releases that I picked up as a kid, talking about around the years 82, 83. And also, to be honest, I don't really think this music's crap, but I would say probably a lot of metalheads, maybe younger metalheads, so to speak, might think this type of music is crap. It's basically a lot of pop rock, and that's what I was into first before I discovered metal, and I still like that music a lot, especially the 80s pop rock. So here we go. So the very first music release I remember picking up as a kid was a 45 RPM record, and that was The Safety Dance by Men Without Hats. Fortunately, I don't have it anymore. I remember I had it for a very, very long time. It was in very poor condition, and eventually, it disappeared at some point. I do still have the song. It's on a compilation, the big 80s, and like I said, I still am very fond of this type of music. So another music release I picked up around this time was also a 45 RPM record, and this time it was Our House by Madness. And I heard this from a friend. He's a couple years older than me. He must have played it for me at some point, and I like the song too. Don't have that one anymore either, but it is on this compilation, the big 80s, and I actually picked this up in Japan not too long ago. So yeah, like I said, still like these songs, enjoy listening to 80s pop. So like I said, for maybe a lot of metalheads this is crap music. For me, I still like it. Alright, so this next one is actually released by my first favorite band at the age of 7. The previous two I talked about, I only picked up the 45 RPM records, never any full-length cassettes or LPs or anything. And this time I'm talking about Men at Work and the album Business as Usual, first cassette I ever bought. And a couple songs on here, of course the hits Down Under and Who Can It Be Now. And like I said, still a fan of those songs. Alright, next one up is also released from Men at Work, the album Cargo. Also had this on cassette as a kid. Good songs on here like the opener, Dr. Heckle and Mr. Jive, It's a Mistake, Overkill. Still enjoy those songs. Alright, the last one to talk about here was actually the first full-length vinyl album I ever bought as a kid, and talking about ZZ Top Eliminator. And I think Legs was probably the first song I heard on the radio and liked it. And it also has some good songs on here like Sharp Dressed Man and Got Me Under Pressure. Still enjoy it. While I do consider myself a metalhead, I also am a fan of pop rock, especially 80s pop rock, and nothing I'm embarrassed about. And it's what I started out listening to as a kid, and I think it gave me an appreciation for melody and hooks, and not everything has to be brutal all the time, for sure. In fact, most of the metal that's at the top of my list is brutal here and there, but also has a lot of melody, has hooks, not just grinding and blasting all the time. I kind of find that boring if it just goes on and on. And so if you're into that type of thing, 80s pop rock, don't be embarrassed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.